I'm Andy Ellis for PremierGuitar.com, and I'm here with Paul Beard. And Paul, you have a new model that you want to tell us about. Please introduce us to this beauty.
Thanks. Yes, this is the A model Odyssey, and basically this guitar is new for us. It's a small body, kind of a small body jumbo, and it features, the most unique thing about it is this bass port right here. It's the appropriate size for this body shape and size. I kind of based the design of it on speaker technology, so I was really conscious of how large this port needs to be. And the main thing about it is inside here is actually like a bass reflex baffle. It's a true baffle. And what that does is it really increases the bass of the instrument, the projection of the instrument, volume certainly, but it also makes the bass very defined and clean and a tight bass to balance out the treble that's coming off of the cover plate. So this instrument is a much more full-bodied resonator than what you're typically used to seeing in the marketplace. It's new for us and it's doing extremely well. The A model is all solid wood construction. It typically features a 25-inch scale length, and we make the neck standard and a 1 3/4 inch nut width, although custom necks certainly we can do. The instrument is completely handmade in Hagerstown, Maryland. We even make the metal parts, the cover plate, spider bridge casting. I spin all of the resonator cones myself. The only thing that we don't manufacture are the tuning machines, and we typically use Waverly's. So this instrument boasts that it's 100% USA made. It carries a lifetime warranty, and it's like I say, this one is a Mahogany model. The one that we just heard in the intro here is a beautiful curly maple, and that is also solid wood construction with a mahogany neck. Now, in addition to the baffle that's in the guitar, one of the things that departs from a standard resonator instrument is that there is not any other supporting members in the body of the instrument other than some sound posts, 2 sound posts. So we have a baffle and 2 sound posts. There is not the traditional sound ring that you would see in other instruments. So it's a very open instrument internally. So
Where are the sound posts located, roughly?
the sound posts are located back towards the back. There's usually one here, and that's over a brace, over the back brace. And then the baffle actually runs from here, goes all the way around to here, and suspends from the top all the way to the back. So the only opening is here on the sides. And that's lengthening this bass, the amount of distance actually that the bass travels to exit out of the port.
Now, did you go to loudspeaker cabinet construction manuals to do your homework on the distances and the size of the ports?
Yeah, that's exactly what we did. We tried to model this as best we can, and it's an ongoing process certainly, but this has been several years in the making. But yes, we're looking at the size of the port, the volume of the actual cabinet. We're treating this like a speaker cabinet, not so much like in a guitar, because this top is actually doesn't produce as far as resonance like a traditional guitar. This is more of a speaker, a mechanically driven speaker cabinet. So yes, we looked at that. We're also looking at the efficiency of the speaker, if you want to call it that, or the resonator. And it's not as easy as traditional speaker plugging those numbers into a computer program, because there are some things that you can't do since this is mechanically driven by the strings.
Right.
So it's an ongoing work, but we're getting close. We're very happy with the way this has turned out. It's just really greatly increased the bass and the volume of the overall guitar.
Now, for people who are unfamiliar with more traditional round neck resonator design, describe what the F-holes, where they would be placed and where the ports would be placed on some of your other instruments or traditional resonators, and how that differs from what you have here.
Yeah, that's a great point to bring out. Traditional guitars would have F-holes up here in the upper bow. And a traditional resonator guitar from, say, the 30s would have 2 screened ports on each side of the upper bout. So you would have the choice of either F-holes or the screen ports. What's interesting is one of the things that I did early on is I looked at the surface area of those screened ports versus an F-hole. And the interesting thing about that is they turned out to roughly be about the same amount of surface area.
Wow.
But F-hole guitars lack the bass response. They lack the overall volume and presence over, say, one of those screened port guitars. And that got me interested in the speaker design, the cabinet design. Why does that happen? Well, one of the things that I found out is bass frequencies are dependent on the actual shape of the hole. The efficiency of that bass frequency leaving the cabinet can be dependent on the hole. So what that means is you can have an F-hole guitar with the exact same amount of space taken out or hole as a round hole. The round hole is always going to sound louder and more bass response.
Wow.
And that got me pushing towards the idea of a single hole as opposed to two, and having the correct size.
And what about the shape, this oval shape? Was that simply an aesthetic choice, or is there a difference between the same size hole that's round versus the oval?
That's a great question. I did kind of monkey with this shape for aesthetics, just to give it a nice vibe without really encroaching on how it affects the sound. So I haven't found that this amount of changing the hole really affected the sound that much, but it does give it kind of a cool look. So.
Well, Paul, if people want to find out more about all your instruments, but particularly these models, where should they go?
They just go to beardguitars.com, and we have a lot of information on the web. Give us a call. We're in Hagerstown, Maryland, and we'll be glad to talk to you. Just give us a call, pick up the phone, or send us an email.
Sweet. For premierguitar.com, I'm Andy Ellis.